Hey, what's up guys? So welcome indeed to this week's Challenge Rift 142, which is actually going to be the first Challenge Rift of Season 20. So just as a heads up, don't actually defeat the boss if you want that bounty bag for this week when Season 20 starts. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a video now because, of course, it just came out. Let's go ahead and just get this out of the way. So first off, as far as the build goes, this is going to be a Grace of Inarius bone armor / bone spear build. So with the Grace of Inarius, we're going to be doing more damage when we are in melee range because bone armor is going to give us a swirling tornado, and it's going to make them take damage and increasing the damage they take from the Necromancer by 10,000%. This is also going to be our source of damage reduction, so we need to keep our bone armor stacks as high as possible. In this case, it's going to go ahead and be 15, so make sure this is always at 15. It's going to give you a higher amount of stacks when you are near more enemies. However, once you have it at maximum stacks, which is going to be 15, you only need to have one enemy around you to reactivate it and keep those maximum stacks. That's the only thing that's important to mention with this build, but I will go ahead and mouse over the rest of the pieces of gear, just in case any of you guys were wondering what the heck it had in here. But that's the only thing that is worthy of mentioning. It does have the Dainty's Binding, so extra damage reduction. But with Convention of Elements, our rotation is going to be on physical, but it doesn't really matter at all because you will be destroying things very fast anyways. Another thing that is important to mention is it does run Scythe of the Cycle, so that's more damage with our Bone Spear, but it reduces the duration of Bone Armor, so that's kind of a double-edged sword. You're going to be dealing more damage, but you're going to be reducing the duration of our Bone Armor, which is normally 60 seconds, so you're going to be casting this skill quite often. We've also got the Stewart's Greaves over here, so we're going to get more movement speed with Blood Rush and more damage with our Bone Spear. Our Golem will be shedding a corpse every second. This is only really important to mention if you run out of essence. You should be pretty much good to go until the very final boss fight, because during the boss fight what's going to happen is there's going to be no adds that spawn, therefore you're not going to be able to destroy him as fast because you need to wait for your essence to basically accumulate, which is done through consuming corpses. Ring of Grandeur, and as far as our skills go, what we need to actually activate, Golem can be used, you can kind of ignore it if you want to, but basically you can group up the enemies and it does stun them. You can use it when you are out of bone armor stacks. Blood Rush you're just going to activate as your mobility option. You can just activate it pretty much most of the time because you're going to be having that extra movement speed. And then we have Bone Spear, which is our source of damage, Bone Armor to keep ourselves alive, as well as proccing that bonus damage with the 6-piece set of the Inarius. And then this is an aura, so you don't have to maintain it at all. As far as the passives go, the only thing that is really important to go ahead and mention is that Final Service over here is indeed active. The only thing that's important is really this Bone Armor. So go up to a group of enemies, you'll see this stack, make sure you maintain that. Other than that, it's a pretty easy rift, just very squishy. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So with the very first floor, you can just breeze straight in a line going through everything. Activating your Golem to go ahead and kind of group them up, aggro the stuff, and then go ahead and activate Bone Armor so you can get those 15 stacks. That's the most important part of this build, as well as not getting too close to any of the explosions that happen because the build, again, very squishy. Make sure, again, you just keep this at maximum stacks and you'll have a pretty good time. But anyways, if you guys are playing in this season, let me know what you guys are playing. I'm going to start off as Necromancer because Necromancer has 100% chance to have a crafted item with the Hope of Cain, and it's just super easy to start this season, especially with the seasonal buff, which is going to be the Kanai's buff. And if you guys haven't seen the rewards or want to learn more about it, I recently just dropped a video on it, so I'll pin that down below in the comment section below in case any of you guys do want to go ahead and check that out. We've also got the Path of Exile, new league starting on the exact same day. So man, it's going to be a lot of action RPG gameplay very soon on the channel. Plus, yo, where is Diablo Immortal, man? I've been waiting for that game. I think it's going to come out this summer, so we'll have to wait and see if that game is any good, or if it's just another one of those mobile games we play for a short amount of time. But I'm really excited about Path of Exile's new league mechanic too, so good stuff indeed. And if you guys do need a power level for the season, I stream every single day over on Twitch, and we'll probably do some power levels maybe a day or two after, and if we end up streaming Diablo on the live stream. And if you guys aren't following me over on Twitch, it's just twitch.tv/Slaydra, just like my username over on YouTube. I can boost you guys up. We do it every single season. For anyone that needs help, you know, during the leveling process, because it's boring leveling up, especially if maybe you're a day or two after. Be ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this power pylon over here, which is on the second floor. I'm gonna go ahead and have the left side over here. That's going to be an elite. Watch out for these guys because they've got shielding, and you don't want to activate your main source of damage when there is shielding. Just gotta watch out with all of the explosions going on, because again, the build, keep on mentioning it, it's squishy. It really is. It's just the nature of Necromancer, to be honest. They're just not the most offensive class here. Make that one, and then pretty much we can go ahead and move on to the next floor, which will have a channeling pylon as soon as we go in. And man, does that make this build so much better. Unfortunately, lost out on our stacks. This is where it gets a little bit dangerous, but we got the channeling pylon, so we can go ahead and activate our bone armor over and over now. And now we're pretty much good to go on being relatively safe. This elite over here. And we're going to pretty much come down to the end of this rift here very soon. Again, make sure you cast bone armor. We almost ran out of the stacks. That could be very bad, because once you have final service procced and you don't have your bone armor at 15 stacks, instantly get one-shotted. It's part of the Necromancer. So you just got to kind of pay attention to this little bar going down. Once you're at 15 stacks, as long as there's at least one enemy nearby, you'll be good to go. But I'm really looking forward to the next season, which will be season 21. So I've been waiting for a new Demon Hunter set. I'm really wondering what they're going to do. Are they going to do like Elemental Arrow? Are they going to do a Chakram set? Because Demon Hunter is my favorite class in Diablo. Usually it's Wizard, like for Diablo 2, that was my favorite class. But in D3, I like the Demon Hunter. I'll go ahead and have the Golem kind of group up everything. Just melting. Elites much faster. There we go. And we're running into essence problems, so we're not being super efficient with our essence here. You just want to activate it when there is a group of enemies. If you start killing too much of the trash, you run into situations where you simply just don't have enough. We can go to the 4th floor. You can complete it on the 3rd one, but it's really not that big of a deal. We need to make sure, again, keep up those bone armor stacks. Another elite pack over here. So it'd be a good area to go ahead and dash right back out. Because remember, we don't want to kill the boss until we lost out on all our stacks. So this can become a little bit dangerous, but just go ahead and be careful. We'll have the Rift Guardian spawn. Like you said, we don't want to kill the Rift Guardian because Season 20 doesn't actually start until Friday. So make sure, if you're watching this before Friday, I've showed you guys the pathing. You'll have sufficient time for the boss, no problem. In fact, this time would actually probably be on the leaderboards because we're relatively fast. But nonetheless, no one's completing it right now. You don't want to complete it, and that is, again, because you want to get that bounty reward. But there's the pathing. That's how you guys go ahead and actually do the challenge 142. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel here, hit subscribe, turn on that bell if you'd like to see more Diablo content. We'll be covering the new season 20 different builds. We've actually got build guides already from the PTR. Things have changed a little bit, but for the most part, it's just the damage, buffs, and nerfs. But the best in slot is still primarily the same. But I'll update you guys with a new leveling guide because with season 20, oh gosh, this golem with its shedding a corpse every second, absorbing it, just keeps on making that sound. But with this season, you have the ability to do the Kanai's Secret Cow level. This is a newer mechanic that isn't usually available every single time of the year because it's only available during this month. But there is a Secret Cow level. There's extra transmogs that will be obtained, and I'll be making video guides on that as well. So, like I said, if you're new here and you do want to see that, subscribe, turn that bell. I'll be uploading more very soon because that is another way, if you want to go ahead and level up to 70 when the season starts. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.